mindfulness-based stress reduction. It's a bit of a misnomer in that it's much more than about stress reduction. It's really a lifestyle program. And of course, if you get your lifestyle into a more manageable, mindfulness-based or mindfulness-oriented perspective, your stress is going to go down. For example, someone who might have difficulty with smoking, drinking, eating, putting a needle in their arm, if we can recognize that there's some distress that's happening here, and it's going to be in the body somewhere, if we can just come to that point of distress in the body and make room for it, replace the reactivity with equanimity, we might say, then in that moment, there's an opportunity for choice. So we can choose then a healthy response. What do I need right now? You know, I'm feeling lonely and isolated. Maybe I need to call a friend. I'm feeling unsafe. Maybe I need to, you know, cuddle up in a blanket, do something. So it really slows everything down so our automatic reactions and those chain reactions don't keep dragging us along through our lives. It's really attractive, I think, to a couple of different markets, if you will. And one is folks that just want to get an established mindfulness program or practice in their life. Not just sitting meditation, walking meditation, eating meditation, mindful conversations, mindful listening, mindful speaking, every other aspect of their life. But just folks that want to just get a firm enough grasp or a deep enough experience. And this program is very experiential. The group is limited in size to 20. It's usually more like 15. It's 2.5 hours long. It meets one Thursday. In this case, it meets one Thursday evening a week for 8 weeks. So it's a commitment. It's sort of like taking a college course. We're not only learning from the techniques and going home with homework. They'll get homework. There are 9 or 10, I forget how many, MP3 recordings, everything from a 10-minute meditation to a 1-hour meditation. There's Qigong videos, there's instructions around Hatha yoga. So it's just a tremendous amount of material for folks to work with. But it's really in that container where you can really get the practice of that, real time. Notice to be able to say, you know, right now I want to say something, but I'm nervous. Okay, just find some room around that. And everybody just holds that space. And then they practice then catching that and then relaxing and saying, okay, now I can speak. And then take that back into the relationships, into their jobs or whatever else. So it's a really neat way to both learn these practices and then put them into practice in real time. What's interesting in that, to me at least, you know, being a psychotherapist too, is seeing that in that container, folks move into a place of depth and honesty that in many cases what they will say is, I've never told anybody that. And they come to a place of deeper self-understanding, and they share that with someone. They obviously were afraid to share it before, and then it's welcomed by this group, and they say, wow, I don't need to be holding back because of my fear that someone's actually going to know this about me. You know, and so they just throw it out and say, wow, nobody died. There's so many mindfulness programs here. You know, how do you decide which one? So this one again is it meets for 8 weeks, 2.5-hour classes. So there's 20 hours of class time. There's a lot of homework and a lot of recorded practices that you can use, and links to YouTube videos and all sorts of things to help clarify different things we're trying to teach here. And the biggest difference, I would say, is that container that I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. That there's not going to be 60, 70 people or 40 people or whatever. It's going to be the max 20 and normally 12 to 15. So we're going to get to know each other, and we're going to get to see each other when we're uncomfortable, and we're going to be able to support each other becoming comfortable. But once we understand the real underlying problems, we don't need to try to manage the anxiety from these problems by eating too much, drinking too much, drugging too much, sexing too much, whatever it is. We can actually know, oh, okay. Problem identified, problem solved, now I'm free. freedom.